guys? Welcome back to episode 5 of the Essential Oilers podcast. Your hosts, as always, Andrew Bennett, Benny, and Scott Schweitzer. Schweitzer say it's pretty appropriate here. Episode 5 games into the Oilers season. We're going to be divulging into that, all 5 games, giving a breakdown. But Schweitz first got a little shout out to a new subscriber of the podcast.
Not on the pod goes to Queen Deneen C. Welcome to the podcast. Glad you're subscribing. So nice little shout out there. So
yeah, thanks for the subscription. Make sure to comment down below if you have anything about what we're talking about here. We're going to be getting off to it right away. Game 1 of the season. Edmonton is in Sweden going up against the New Jersey Devils. Definitely not a strong outing for the Edmonton Oilers in Game 1 whatsoever, I thought.
No, I thought they looked very flat-footed. Looked, like they weren't getting passes done. They weren't trying hard. It just was literally an all-around bad performance by, I think, everybody other than Milan Lucic. Lucic was the only one that really impressed me that game.
Yeah, they did not look strong at all. I thought this was the game that they were going to come out strong to and then come back across seas, like I said last podcast, and then lose against Boston. However, they did not look like they had anything in the tank. Like losing pucks down low, like off the first goal there with Palmieri, just a defensive breakdown low in the zone, walks right out with no coverage, puts it upstairs on Cam Talbot. He couldn't do anything on that play.
No, it wasn't Cam's fault there. That was, I thought Nurse and Benning, I don't like the combo of them playing together to begin with, but then they just... Nothing, Matt Benning he hasn't been off to a good start. I don't like to rag on guys, but, he just hasn't been doing smart hockey plays. I find he fumbles the puck lots, he's unsure of his passes, whether he needs confidence boost or what, but he just does not look like himself out there. And he's just making very dumb plays, like when that Kyle Palmieri play, didn't have the guy covered, just kind of let him walk around and let Darnell Nurse let him take the puck, and it just was a bad breakdown there. So
yeah, I agree so far. If I had to put one dud to start off these first 5 games, mine would probably go to Matt Benning. I wasn't expecting loads from him. I was expecting him to make a step, be a bit better than he was last year. However, this year he just looks out of position. He doesn't know whether to commit to a play or not. Like you said, he's fumbling pucks. He's not making any confident plays out on the ice. In my mind, it sounds bad, but he looks like he should be a second pair in the AHL right now. He doesn't look like he should be playing in the NHL.
No.
And guys are just walking around like it's nothing. And prime example, Dave Pastrnak on a power play. You can't... Yeah, Pastrnak made a very nice move, but the way he just swung at that puck with such, unsure, trying to get something at it, that was...
Yeah, get your body in there, do a stick lift, do whatever. Just make confidence. And I just don't know if it's a confidence issue or what's going on with him this year. But he in my eyes, he should be a good 5'6" defenseman. Just a good, nice shutdown guy, makes smooth passes. Because he does have that great passing ability. He has a decent shot on him. But he just doesn't look like himself this year so far to begin the year off. But
yeah,
the year's young and he's on the IR right now. So hopefully he gets better and hopefully he gets a little swag when he comes back.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back with some confidence because, getting back to that first game, Edmonton just looked scrambly. We're watching a little bit of the highlights here and just on some of the plays, even Talbot, right there, he slips up while trying to push back. He didn't look, and we'll get to it. Talbot's been playing phenomenal for these first 5 games, but this game number 1, nobody looked good. Talbot didn't look square to the shots or anything like that. Guys were getting in the lanes, blocking his vision. It was an all-around just bad performance, I thought.
Oh, and that second period with New Jersey there, that might be the worst period of hockey I've seen the Oilers play ever.
And this play too, where Talbot left that for that third goal, he left the puck behind the net for him, right out in front. This was brutal. Looked like an NHL team playing an East Coast team at this point. They were dancing around and making dumb mistakes that you shouldn't be making in the NHL.
And the one that I didn't like is a lot of people were blaming Evan Bouchard on that third goal for not going behind there. I thought Talbot was going to ring it around the net, and then he just left it.
Yeah, and I'm sure Bouchard did too.
And so, I wanted him to play something out there, and he just didn't. But, you know what? The first game, I got really nothing more to say other than they looked flat-footed, they looked slow, they looked out of place. That was a game where I thought the Oilers were going to come in, look strong, and it just didn't happen. Looked like same old Oilers, same old year, and I was just hoping for better against them.
So then we move right along. They come back all the way across seas into Boston, Massachusetts, hoping for a big comeback game. This was the game that I thought they were going to lose because I thought they were going to win in New Jersey. However, I was unsure coming into this game. You're playing against a big, strong Boston Bruins team. It's their home opener for the season, and now you've already lost your first game across seas, and you're coming with the time difference. I mean, they got 4 or 5 days of rest, but still, you're trying to adjust from being in Sweden and Europe for a week, and then you try and jump back on East Coast time, which isn't even your normal time zone if they were in Edmonton for a while before that. So they're still off, and that's not an excuse. However, right off the hop here, when McDavid walks around Char like he was standing still, I was like, oh, perfect, big start. This is a bounce back game coming through here, and I was like, that's exactly what we need, even though it's just Connor. But still, I was looking hopeful at this point at the start of the game.
It was, and they got off to a hot start, which I thought was good in Boston to do, and then literally 10 minutes, like they came out good, and then after the first 10, like they just looked just bad.
They looked brutal. They were taking, and my biggest thing was no discipline. No discipline, dumb plays. Jujhar Khaira gets absolutely hammered by Wagner, reaching for that puck and gets crushed. Clean hit, no problem with it.
Nope.
But then Jujhar Khaira goes to the other end of the ice in the offensive zone and takes that hit from behind on the I don't even know who it was on, right in the corner.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, man, I understand that you're probably pissed about that hit and that you got rocked in front of this Boston crowd, but you have to be able to tone that back now. And I know that even if he turned for the last second, you got to remember that this new NHL now, you got to ease up on those plays because refs will never let you go with that now. You're getting boarding or roughing no matter what.
Yep.
And sure enough, he does. They go to the power play. Pasternak makes an unbelievable play on Benny, but he just... And then the floodgates open shortly after this because, again, power plays and breakdowns, and Boston just kept coming, and I think Edmonton thought that they were going to let off eventually, so they weren't. They were just thinking, oh, Boston can't keep this going. But no, it's Boston Bruins. You can never let that happen.
No, and then the one thing that I have an issue with how the Oilers played in the first 2 games was you look at Montreal, Ottawa, 2 teams who I think everybody predicted bottom 5 for sure.
Absolutely.
Might even be 2 of the bottom 3. And they came out hot. And why did they come out good? Is because they were trying. And I just felt the Oilers came out and they weren't trying. At least that's what it looked like. I know they had a really bad schedule to begin with, a lot of travel there. But, I just didn't think they came out hungry. Like, they didn't look like they wanted it at all. And so that was my issue with the first couple of games. The only one on the Boston's third goal, I thought Luch was going to get a penalty there, or a penalty called on him, and then they go 2-on-1 the other way. It could have gone either way, but still, I was like, ah.
I bet you if it's a smaller guy there instead of Lucic, there's a penalty, but I think just sheer size versus size, they're like, I think the ref probably just thought it was a one puck for the other guy.
But then the one thing I do say about the Boston game is they came back good after that. They had the collapse in for 10 minutes there, and then they started looking like an actual team again. They started making passes.
They played strong hockey. Nothing to make a comeback of it, but they were playing strong hockey. But Boston played shut down Boston hockey, played solid to keep them out of it. They had some big saves from Halak in net as well, and a couple good chances from the Oilers. They probably could have got them back in the game in the second period when they were just hammering down on them a little bit. Actually, Edmonton did make a little bit of a push, but at that point, once you get into the third period and you're down by 2 or 3 to Boston, you're in the TD Garden. It's going to be a hard place to come back in.
And then I think Nuge, did he not hit 2 or 3 posts that game?
He did.
Yeah,
there was one right there.
So
I mean, things could have went the other way, but you're right. I think there was a huge lack of effort in that game, and you're right. It does upset you when you look at Montreal and Ottawa, who are supposed to be crap teams this year, but all their guys are going a $110. They don't have tons of skill, they don't have tons of offense, but they're still putting up wins. I mean, Montreal actually is having a good start so far, and Ottawa's at like a middle of the pack right now.
Yeah, I think they're 3-2-1.
Yeah.
So
they're doing great. So that's the thing. There's no real excuse for the Oilers' play when other teams like that are touted to be different are playing that much better.
And then so what I want to bring up now is like at the first 2 games of the year we go 0-2. Nothing really to take home, and it's just like everybody's like heart sinking. Like it's like, dang it, I don't want this going on again. This is a tough first 10 games to come to it, and then we have Rangers, Boston, Nashville,
Washington, Pittsburgh, Minnesota.
Yeah, and it's just a tough break. So you're like, dang it, like those, like they just look like no hope, and then. Man, they're looking good now again.
Yeah, so we get through that Boston game, and you're right. I thought I saw I don't know if it was just because I focused so much on the Oilers, but it seemed like the overall attention from all over, from TSN, from the NHL, from different fans, there was a lot of focus on Edmonton at that point, saying they're looking like the team of last year. They're looking like they might have another crap season. And there was like tons of my buddies that are Oilers fans that I was talking to, and they're like, yep, looking forward to another season of disappointment and stuff. And from the performance of those first two games, I can totally see where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. Because if Edmonton were to continue forward with that kind of effort, they were going to stand a chance this season. And I think there was a lot of attention looking at Edmonton in those first two games and the losses. And it was true when they said they're going into New York in the Garden, and it's not a must win because it's only the third game of the year, but it's a must win for that team locker room. It's a must win for that confidence for them, and it was a must win for Todd McClellan because they had all the big boys in the building that night with Dale Kratz coming in. Wayne Gretzky was there. Everyone was there, and my podcast partner was also one of the big dogs that was there. Sweitz was actually in New York for this game, got to go to the Garden and see an amazing hockey game, an amazing venue. And I'm going to let Sweitz take this away because he got to take it all in live.
No big deal there, going to New York. First vacation since our honeymoon to go watch the Edmonton Oilers play. No big deal. But, the first period I thought the Oilers looked a little slow, a little sluggish, and it just looked like the Rangers were trying a little harder.
I also noticed that Zibanejad was also picking their team apart. Like one man. Oh. He looked great. He looked
great out there. Like, he was one that I thought was awesome. The one lineup that I really liked, honestly, and call me crazy, but the first game, seeing Garrison and Bouchard out there together, I thought they looked really good. I thought Garrison was going to be, like that veteran leadership for Bouchard to go out there and just play his game, and I thought they looked good. I thought Darnell Nurse really looked good this game. For a guy who, nothing against him for holding off on his contract, but he held off, and when you hold off, I feel like that puts a little bit extra pressure on you to go out there and be good. And I thought the first two games, Darnell wasn't really himself. Where this game, he was flying with the puck, kind of doing the old school Darnell Nurse of taking the puck up with confidence, and McDavid he took it to another level. I think all the TSN and Sportsnet talks of Austin Matthews being better than him must have got to him because, McDavid was flying out there, Nuge was flying, they looked good. The two lines that really impressed me out there was, honestly, I know McDavid came out there scoring, looking good, but mine was the third and fourth line. Puljujärvi and Puljujärvi's line was looking great because he was with Strome.
He was with Strome and Drake
Caggiula, and they were going out hard. Like, they were winning the battles. They were going to the corners. They looked really good, and I really liked Drake Caggiula that game. For a guy who I think you said at the beginning of the year, is a guy that has to step up his game.
Yeah, that I thought wasn't going to be able to play this role. I thought there's no way. He's too small. He didn't come into the league as a grinder or anything. He came into the league as an offensive guy from the NCAA. Mm-hmm. And even the game prior to New York I didn't bring up was him and Backes got into it, and he dropped him with David Backes, who's a heavyweight in the league. And he was throwing his weight around like it was nothing. He didn't care who he was hitting. He didn't care who he was going to have to drop with. He was just a little pit bull out there. And I was like, hats off to him. He's making me eat my words right now, which is exactly what I want to see.
Yeah, he was awesome. And Luch, once again, is a guy that I think deserves a lot of credit. Like, he's been looking so good out there to me. Like, he's not going to be the guy that, puts up 60 points, has the smooth hands, but he's just been doing his bread and butter of doing nice, smart passes, nothing crazy, whether he chips off the board or slides it to the centerman. He's been looking good this year, and he's been finishing his checks. Like, we were lower bowl, and Luch laid the body once, and man, does he hit that guy hard, and just love it. It's reminding me of old school Luch again, and I'm just so excited. Hopefully he keeps it up and keeps bringing the heat, skating hard, just doing bread and butter stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He's just getting back to the basics that made him good coming into this league when he was a young guy that you didn't know if Lucic was going to go and put up numbers in the NHL, which he ended up doing with his first few years at Boston. But that was because he was a power forward. He was getting on the forecheck. He was making huge hits. He was making defense look around their shoulder twice when they were going in for that puck in their corner and saying, if Lucic is on me right now, I'm going to be taking a hit. Mm-hmm. So he might have dumped that puck off a little quicker, made a little bit of a turnover, and that's the Lucic that we're getting back to. And like I said, too, is the Lucic I wanted to see, which he did on the very first goal of the Oilers season this year, was actually plant himself in front, because he does have a really quick snapshot. That's the one thing that he has, and McDavid fed it right to him against New Jersey there and put it in. and he's getting in front of the net. He's kind of sticking his big body in front of there, getting a lot of traffic in front of the net, which is like just exactly like you said, bread and butter, basics, Lucic, and that's why you see success in him. He's not trying to do too much anymore.
No, and his quick snapshot, like he had it last night against Boston. We had one where Kiliamoto fed out front to him. Just had a nice quick shot on it. Yeah, it didn't score, but he's getting the nice opportunities. He's being in the right place. He's hitting lots. He looked really good. And then the Oilers score on the nice power play goal here with Connor McDavid. Yeah, it might have been a little fluke on.
Did you think that was going to be going in? When
I did not.
Because when I saw that, I didn't even understand how it went in.
No, it just kind of like backhanded it in the net there, and it was just. It just bounced in
from such a crazy angle.
Crazy angle. Got a bunch of drunk New Yorkers chirping at me at that point. So life was good. McDavid, overrated. So that's what they like to say. But no, I thought the Oilers looked good this game. They came out hard in the that fluky shot. Sorry, we're watching the highlights here, but that fluky shot where I can't say his name, Pavel, whatever his name is.
They steps across the red line for a dump and chase, and it goes off the back glass. Talbot goes to turn to look at it, and it goes through his legs back out to the forechecker, who gets a shot, and Talbot just drops, and somehow it got stuck between his legs.
And
thank God.
And to me, this was honestly the TSN turning point.
Yeah.
Because if they scored on that, that would have been the same old Oilers having the lead and then losing it.
And then some crappy luck with a crappy goal, and then the wind's out of the sails, and then New York probably would have just kept coming at that point with momentum and just would have buried the Oilers. You're right. That totally was. What's that? Were you on the far side or the camera side? Like, which side of the ice would you have been on?
I would have been on the camera side. We were in the Ranger zone.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Kevin Lowe sat section in front of us. No big deal. Got a shout out to him. He's a pretty cool dude.
Who you actually ended up talking to in the concourse. Got a picture with big man Kevin Lowe.
Yeah, no biggie. No one was talking to him, so I decided to slide on in there.
But with that, Edmonton holds off on that game. Gets the win, sends the Rangers to a 1-4 record to start their first 5. Edmonton outshoots the Rangers 27-24, 47-53 face-off percentage. Edmonton gets one on the power play, goes perfect on the penalty kill, and out-hits New York by 8. It was a good game.
It was a good game, and now on to Winnipeg.
So that was that. Like we said, that was the big win that Edmonton needed. It was a must win. They had big guys. I don't even think that if they would have gotten stomped that game, Todd McLellan wouldn't have even made it back to Edmonton by the time he would have been probably packing his bags. I could have seen them shipping him out right there.
For sure. And like for the hype that goes in the year, you got Connor McDavid, the best player on earth, and you hear it from everybody, they're wasting McDavid. The point is, though, I gotta kind of agree. Like, this is McDavid's prime, and you guys go 0-3 to start off the year.
That's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Well, and then that happened last year, 3 games in. So I forget who fired their head coach. Right at the start of the year, somebody got canned right off the bat, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" But they're like, "Yeah, you can't mess around with that." So, must win. Big people in the building, including Mr. Scott Schweitzer. So it was sweet to see that you got to see their first win of the year. We're back, almost home. They actually had to come home and then fly to North Dakota, did you hear? And then get a bus up to Winnipeg. I don't know what the issue was there. But we're going into Winnipeg now. Sweet Jesus, that's not a good sign. They had a home winning record of 11 games stretching back into February of last season. So that's an awesome stat to hear as well going into this. Mm-hmm. So the game starts off, it wasn't a good start again for the Oilers. They got outworked down low. They got outworked by our checking line from the Winnipeg Jets. What was his last name again? Lowry pots the first 2 on Edmonton and just outworked them. Made them look absolutely lazy and small out there.
And that's all it was. And mine was Jason Garrison, a guy who I thought looked really good in New York. Swear to my kids. I thought he looked really good. He did nice base. And he looked horrible.
He was the main reason those first 2 goals went in.
And him and Benning, I don't know why they put those 2 out there at the same time, but they did not look good. I thought Matt Benning, once again, did not show confidence in that game whatsoever. And I thought those 2 were like the main reason. And just fumbling pucks. Like
second goal, not a confident pass coming out here by Garrison. He's walking out of the corner. He has time. You have time, and you get it on the guy that's back checking on you that you took the puck from, and they get that steal on you, which in turn turns to a nice passing play, and then gets his own rebound. Lowry gets his own rebound. Which defense is on him? Garrison just looks lazy on this play. Just looks like he's too old. Like he shouldn't be there because he's getting outworked.
Yeah, and that's all it was. I felt the first period was just the just the Winnipeg was being typical Winnipeg, playing hard, playing smart, and just got outworked. And I thought the Oilers didn't look like they had it, but then Connor McJesus came out of nowhere.
Again, on the power play, walks around Jacob Trouba like he's standing still and puts one right upstairs on Connor Hellebuyck. Absolutely beautiful goal. Backhand roof, like he made it look effortless on this play. And you think, okay, finally we get back in this, because he had to stop the floodgates at that point because it was 7 minutes left in the first period. They're up 2-0 and Winnipeg was working you at that point.
Oh, getting double shots.
Yeah, they're out shooting them by a double at that point. McDavid finally says, all right, once again, I'll be the savior. I'll stop the bleeding right now. I'm the captain. I'll go out and make a play. He sure does. But still in the first period, not too long after, Winnipeg keeps coming on them, keeps getting chances, and blasts one into the net from the point on Cam Talbot. No chance for him. There was about 5 bodies in front of him on that shot.
And you know what's for Cam Talbot's credit, like out of the first 5 games so far, like just the first game where Kyle Palmieri scored that one from the top there, and then I forget who scored the third one for the Devils. Sorry, boys, but like that time I fumbled the puck. Those 2 goals were bad for Talbot, but other than that, he's looked really good. Every goal that's been scored on him, I'm like, yeah, that's a goal.
Yeah,
you can't do nothing there. Shot on the point, can't do nothing there. Adam Lally rocks in front of you, nothing. Like, I thought he's been looking really solid so far this year.
Absolutely. So then you get into the second period, first minute in, Winnipeg on the power play. Line with a big shot right from where Ovechkin shoots it. Big rebound right to Scheifele in the slot. Once again, Talbot, absolutely no chance on that. You're not going to save that. I don't expect you to save that. 4-1 down to the Winnipeg Jets. Nothing to push back in the second period. We're starting the third period against Winnipeg Jets, 4-1 in the MTS Center. Feeling like this is Boston all over again. We're not going to be coming back. I honestly thought at that point it was like they're probably going to get 1 or 2 more in the third, and it's going to be a 6-1 game.
Oh, everybody I know that was watching this game said they turned off at the
People were turning it off. People were frustrated. They were pissed. They were like, oh, we finally get a win against New York, but who wasn't a strong team. But it's like, clearly we can't play with the big boys at this point, because the only team we can beat is the Rangers, who are 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
But right off the hop, McDavid, people were saying, do you think he intentionally did that, where he dropped the pass to Ratty?
Honestly, I do. And I think just because he is, like, you watch those plays that him and Crosby do, where they're just that much elite. And
yeah, they're just like 5 steps ahead.
And I just think he does. Like, he just saw the guy coming behind him, said, oh, we'll do this. And
so he drops it to Ratty, who makes a beautiful upstairs pass, the first thing he finally decided to do in 4 games.
Yeah, and he's one where, I'm not going to lie, like, Ratty to me, like, he came into the preseason scoring, like, 7 goals or something like that. Yeah. Like, he was ridiculous, on fire. And the New York game, you didn't even notice him out there. And I haven't noticed him since, like, other than that goal.
You haven't noticed him at all, and that's the thing. For me, it's not even the fact that he's not putting up the points that he is in preseason. That is definitely a factor. But the thing of just watching his play, like individual puck play when he's in control of it and he has to make the play, nothing. Like, he's not making good plays. He just looks like he's so outskilled by everybody. He's getting muscled off the puck by the big teams like Winnipeg and Boston. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is where you're looking like an AHL player again, and you're just potting the ones that are McDavid setting you up for. It's concerning, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's sad to say it, but Ratty's replaceable, and it's not like we paid head over heels for him anyways.
I think he's making $800,000.
Exactly.
And minus, like, even with like the pass that he made to McDavid for the Zdeno goal where he walked around him in Boston, like, he still shot it right in Zdeno's feet. Like, for me, he's not making confident passes. He's just not playing the way he should. And minus, like, you got to look at him. And I'm sorry, this league's like a young man's game. Like, once you hit 30, you're pretty much old school for the NHL. You're almost too old for the game. Even if you're good, you're almost too old.
Yep.
And for him, it's kind of a second chance. And you get to play with Connor McDavid, the best player in the league.
You got to take advantage of it.
Got to take advantage. And to me, he just doesn't look like he's doing it right now. So to me, he's like replaceable. But I hope the best for him. I hope he gets a little bit of swagger back, gets the confidence, and starts going out there. Like, man, like, just look like. I know he's on IR tonight, and like Kaylee Yamamoto's going up to play with him. And man, if I'm him, I'm crapping my pants, because I know that if Kaylee Yamamoto looks good up there, boys, they're putting him up there.
They're going to keep him. And that he will not be able to give McClellan a reason as to why he deserves that spot, because he hasn't done anything in the first 5 games.
Nothing.
So he has no argument there.
No.
So you're right. You're hoping that for the team's sake, Yamamoto does good. For your personal sake, you hope he does crap. He doesn't do a thing out there, so you still have that shot when you come back. Mm-hmm. Getting back to the Winnipeg game now. 30 seconds in, Ratty does score. 3 minutes later, on the power play, McDavid from the side of the net, similar to where he was in New York, makes a great play. Puck squirts out to him, shoots it in. You can tell he's fired up by his emotion. He says, let's go. We can get this back. It's 4-3 now. We need one more goal to tie us early in the third period. Mm-hmm. People are probably thinking, get notifications on their phone saying, okay, what's actually going on here? Why is Edmonton doing this? Skip all the way to 6 minutes left in the third period. A beautiful passing play between McDavid to Nugent Hopkins to our boy Jesse Puljujärvi, who's slapped right in front there. The big body, he's outboxing that defenseman. He's getting the inside look at the crease. Has his stick on the ice, a big 6'3" boy. And look what happens. Puck goes right off his stick, perfect placement. And there's your tying goal. 6 minutes left, lots of time to play. When that happened, that was reminded me of Oilers of 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When it was getting about halfway through that season, I remember we would be down by 2 goals or 3 goals, and I was like, no, we can come back. The boys have swagger. They know that they're not out of this, which was different because anytime you knew if they're down by 2, there's not a chance they're coming back. Edmonton does not have the drive. They don't have the passion. They don't have the offense. But 2 years ago, I said every time I was like, oh no, like I can see us coming back and scoring around the 6 minute mark in the third to tie it up like we do, and we might get another goal actually, and not even have to go to overtime.
No,
so when they finally did that in Winnipeg, I was like, okay, this is like glimmers of 2 years ago, finally.
And I agree, like, and everybody on the bench seems to believe it too. I find guys are trying harder. Like I know it's only 5 days into the year, but man, like they're looking good and they're looking like they're trying hard. Because like the first 2 games, they did not look confident. They did not look like they wanted it. And now over these last 3, I know it's only 5 games in, but man, what a turnaround so far.
It's been great. It's been great.
Awesome.
So get back to it now. You know the Oilers tie that game up 4-4. Big deal. I'm watching this in overtime, and out of nowhere, Darnell Nurse decides to skate that puck up, goes across the red line, and makes a beautiful toe drag around. And I thought he has no angle here. Goes short side under the glove, perfect shot on Connor Hellebuyck, Vezina candidate last year, and look his raw emotion. You see the bench's raw emotion. The boys like, okay, we did it. This is a confidence booster back for us. Yeah, people may say that it's luck and whatever, that the Oilers still haven't been playing that great, but I don't care what you say. When you're in that room and you just came back against the Winnipeg Jets, who were a Western Conference final team last year, no.
Yep. And Stanley Cup favorite this year.
Yes. You gotta have some confidence. You gotta say, okay, we were down by 4. Winnipeg's an easy shutdown team. They're a big shutdown team. That's their bread and butter too. Once they get up, they use their offense, and then they can just shut you down. And the Oilers pushed through that. I know it was a lot led by Connor McDavid, but still, it doesn't matter. That's a team thing. That's a team morale thing. And the last goal, I mean, Darnell Nurse, McDavid wasn't even part of that one. So that was huge coming into that one. I was excited. I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, we're back. We're 2-2 now. We just knocked off the Winnipeg Jets. I'm happy. I'm starting to see some movement.
It's going awesome. You're feeling great. The room's looking good. Everybody's feeling great again. And you're getting the confidence back. Yeah, we're 2-2, and it's only 4 games in the year. But guess what? Like, come up against Boston. Like, first time they played in Boston, I was like, it's gonna be a loss. Like, beginning of the year, I was like, they're gonna lose that game. Where this game,
I was like, we're gonna
win.
If we come out playing like we did in that third against Winnipeg, we're gonna have a good shot. We're gonna have a good game against Boston at least. It's gonna be a one goal game, like, for sure. I mean, it could go, and that's what I said. It could go either way. It could be Boston just coming out of nowhere. But I was like, you know what? It's the friggin' home opener for the guys. They obviously have to be fired up about it. And I mean, McDavid right off the hop made a beautiful play. If you saw that, the very first play of the game.
Yes. Oh, man.
Like 30 seconds in, McDavid made a great play here where he just walked around Chara again on a quick 2-on-1 and he shot. And I thought he was going to go actually far side in on that, but you could tell right away the boys are fired up. They're going.
How fun is it that he gets to wear an Edmonton Oilers jersey? Like every time he touches the puck,
you know something
cool is going to happen.
And you could even tell, even though Kevin Quinn, the commentator for SportsCenter for the Oilers, he's the Oilers' home guy. He's their guy, and so yeah, he does show a little favoritism in the way he commentates. But every time even if it's a 3-on or a 2-on-3, where like Connor's coming up with only one other guy going on 3 guys. And you hear him, Connor McDavid, yeah. And he comes up and he's getting hyped because he knows just as well as anybody else that anytime he touches the puck, something could happen. Literally every single time.
And it's awesome. It's the best feeling on earth. The love they plays for Edmonton. And, I'm going to be honest. I thought the Oilers looked really good. I know their shot difference was big in the first period. And, yeah, you would have liked to capitalize a little bit more for the Boston, who just played Calgary the night before and lost, 5-2?
Yep.
And But you know what? I thought the boys looked good. I thought they were playing very smart two-way, and I thought they looked really good in the face-off dot against them.
Which is a big change for Edmonton. We have not been good in the face-off for years.
And to face-off Boston 27-25. That's huge.
Yeah, when you have Patrice Bergeron, one of the best face-off guys in the NHL. Obviously, Edmonton got a little bit of a puck luck there, on that very play at the very end of the first period there, where Nurse slapped it out and Marchand could have buried. But whatever, you get lucky breaks like that. You could just say just as easily that Edmonton wasn't getting those breaks the first 2 games of the year. So I don't think that's an excuse to say why they're having success, that they're just getting lucky, because you could have just said that Nuge didn't get lucky when he hit 2 posts in Boston the first time. So maybe it's our turn to get a little bit of luck our way. So anyways, I thought it was a good first period for the Edmonton Oilers. I know that the shots didn't look like it and probably on paper, but if you actually watch that first period, they were going back and forth with Boston. It was a chance for chance. It wasn't just Boston getting all the opportunities. We were getting some quality scoring opportunities on those first 6-7 shots.
And this is 2 games where I thought the Oilers looked really good against Boston. And
yes.
Boston's a Eastern Conference team. They're going to make the playoffs for sure, and they're going to be in the hunt. And for the Edmonton Oilers to be up there with them, what's not to love about that?
Exactly.
And then Krejci scores a quick goal, but then we're going to talk about Kaylee Yamamoto's first goal. Oh, what a pass by Adam Larson. Just sees the opportunity, does the big 2-line pass, gets him on the far side. It was just hands-up awesome.
The thing I liked about that is he stretches Yamamoto. He makes a little bit of a 180-degree turn on Charlie McAvoy, top D-man probably in Boston now, who plays with Char every game. And he outskates McAvoy to that puck and sends it right over Halak's shoulder. That is a pure goal right there. You don't see many guys that can have it. The kid's reaction, I loved it too. He was just so happy. He almost couldn't believe that he made that nice of a goal. But I said, Kaylor, don't be surprised, man. You have offensive talent. That's why we want you here. Beautiful first goal. You'll never forget that one.
No, and then Kaylee Yamamoto, he's another guy that's really impressed me so far this year. Goes to the corners every time. Grindy, gritty. It was funny against Boston. I remember once he went in the corners with Zdeno Chara, you could easily see him just get mauled by him.
Yeah.
But he still was in there and eventually, came with the puck or not. But it was just the guy's always in there, always grinding hard, and he's been a major upgrade this year. And I thought he's been looking awesome, and I hope that he gets to stay up for the boys, because he's definitely deserved it in my eyes.
And I definitely hope that this first goal now is monkey off the back. First NHL goal. Now he can take some pressure off, and he can say, okay, now just loosen the hands on the stick a little bit, play my game, try and own it like I did when I played in the WHL, and just bring it to that NHL level. That's exactly what I want to see. And it was a secondary scoring finally. Connor wasn't involved on that, so that was another big bonus of that. Anyways, let's jump to the third period now. 1-1 game, 12-minute mark. Edmonton on the power play. McDavid shoots one, and some people again are saying that he did this on purpose, where he sent it behind the back of the net. Did one of those, basically an angled pass where it shot off the back of the boards right on a Nugent Hopkins stick on the back door.
I would love to believe it, but
there's not a chance.
There's not a chance.
He was going to shoot that one. No matter what you say, I can't see him not, because he's been trying to shoot from there a lot, and I think it was deflected too. Anyways.
And the big one too is this is a power play goal, and how good has the Oilers equally looked? Last year it was so bad.
Yep.
And you almost hated when the Oilers got a power play. They'd be like, ugh. Where this year they've been looking good. I don't like that they have so many lefties out there. However, they're looking good.
Exactly. So as long as it's rolling, keep it going. So Edmonton gets that nice power play goal. Connor's parents are there. Dad's fired up.
Grandma's fired up.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited for the game. So, and then the other thing too that I loved about this game with Edmonton is I thought they bended, but they didn't break.
Yes.
When there was a couple minutes in the first, couple minutes in the second, couple minutes in the third, that's how hockey always goes. And they bended with Boston, they didn't break. And that was the big thing compared to last year compared to this year, is that they bended, they didn't break.
Yep.
They had to let those opportunities happen, but they just kept in it the whole time. And I thought they've been looking awesome. They
realized and understood, and that's a maturity thing, I think, is that they realized that Boston is going to get those opportunities. They're going to get high-scoring chances. But that doesn't mean that you're playing bad. It just means they're a good team too, and the chances are going to go back and forth for both sides. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Oilers of last year, a couple big chances their way, a couple bobbles with the puck, and they're like, what's the point? They're just not going to stop coming. What's the point? But you're right. They bent, but they pushed straight back. They didn't let Boston get to them. They didn't let them get under their skin and start putting all these shots and goals up. And that's a sign of maturity. And like you said, confidence, swagger with the Oilers. Boston ties it back up at the 8-minute mark. But hey, we go back right into overtime. And not only 30 seconds into the overtime do you see a beautiful play by Connor McDavid, of course. This was actually a great defensive play in general. The fact that I noticed here that Bergeron just knows to start going. Hey, he just had confidence that they were going to turn that puck over, because right there he starts going, and I don't even know how he knew that Marchand was going to get that puck, and Bergeron starts going. Marchand looks. He's like, yeah, I got it. Nope, Connor McDavid, I'll take that back.
Take it. Thank you very much.
Dances around the rat, makes a look, beautiful pass over to Draisaitl, and you knew Draisaitl was like, yeah, that's what I needed right there. He was just happy. He was fired up with Connor. He's like, God, I love when you play with me.
Like, who doesn't love seeing those guys on the overtime? They're so much fun together. They're so electric, and they just create space and opportunities.
And they have that natural chemistry with one another too. I think that just some players have together. And there you go, Edmonton, 3-2, over 500, just like that, 3 wins in a row. Two of them against very difficult, hard teams, and one was a huge comeback.
Huge comeback win against, like, it's so important that they finished over. I thought I've been happy 500, but I know there's only 5 games you can't play. But still, I was like, this is so big, because their October is so horrible of a schedule. Like, you go to Europe, big layoff, then you play Boston. Like, the only 2 teams I thought that were very that could have been wins was New Jersey. New Jersey looks really good so far this year.
Yeah.
And they're proving that underestimated them, and then New York. And other than that, you play Nashville tonight, then
in a week's time we play Nashville next Saturday.
And then you play Washington, Pittsburgh in there as well.
That.
And then you play Chicago and Minnesota. That's a tough schedule to start off the year.
That's all tough teams. That's top Central teams, because Chicago's got a good start again this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a solid Minnesota team that'll probably make the playoffs, and that's 2 top Metro teams that could easily finish 1-2 this year.
Yep. So
looking at that going in 3-2, if you can at least steal a win from Nashville today, at least you could afford splitting Pittsburgh and Washington, so that you're at a 4-3 or a 5-4 record with them,
mm-hmm.
and then you go into Nashville again next week and battle it out again.
Mm-hmm. And so far the Oilers been looking really good. You would ask me after 2 games, we've been like, oh, future's not looking bright. But now, live in the moment, love it.
Yep.
Live it up.
Keep riding that wave. Try and get a little 5-game streak started here. Why not? I think that'd be awesome. Do you want to do a quick breakdown of the lines tonight, by the way? Mention that.
Oh, love the lineups tonight. This is exactly what I wanted to see at the beginning of the year. But hey, Game 5, let's start it off. So you got McDavid with Nuge and Yamamoto, because Ty Ratty's injured. Love that lineup.
Give Yammer the opportunity. He finally got that first goal. So he's probably feeling a little bit of confidence now. He knows he can put the puck in the back of the net. And what better guy to feed off that confidence when you're feeling that little offensive vibe is to put him right beside Connor McDavid, because he will give him all the chances he needs to put that puck in the back of the net.
Oh, and I love, Yamamoto can easily go in the corner and get the puck. They can play smart. He's a good passer, good shooter.
All 3 of them, that line is a disgusting group of playmakers. Between the 3 of them are just unbelievable.
And then second line, you got Reeder and Draisaitl, the German duo with Puljujärvi.
So you got a European connection between the three boys there.
And I love Puljujärvi up on the second line. I feel like he is going to be a guy this year, next year. I guarantee this year he's scoring 20 goals. Throwing it out there right now. He is going to be a stud, and when he gets his confidence and swag up there and realizes, hey, I'm 6'3", I'm 200 pounds, I can make my way, I can create space. He's going to get more shots off.
I'm really excited to see how he plays Draisaitl tonight.
And I felt like this year so far, he's been shooting the puck way more than he did last year.
Yeah, and even though he hasn't been getting, a lot of the time, he hasn't been getting the best shots off, he's shooting the puck, and that's the important thing.
Yeah,
he's getting the puck on the net. He's not trying to make that extra move or waiting too long with the puck. The one thing, and this is one of the few times I'll probably agree with Drew Remenda when he was doing color commentary for the Oilers. He mentioned that Puljujärvi sometimes takes too long with his release, which I do agree with. Sometimes he pulls the puck back for a full wrist shot when it just snap that thing, man. You have a cannon of a shot. If you can't get a slap shot off, just shoot that thing. The goalie's going to be less prepared for it. Use that cannon, man. So that's what I'm really hoping, because I'm really hoping Draisaitl, 2 big boys up there with that German connection to boot. I think that's going to be a strong second line tonight, hopefully.
And then Strome, Luch, and Chiasson making his Oilers debut. Excited about him.
Oh, yeah.
And then Luch, Strome, I got nothing bad to say about them. They've all been playing really good.
Even Strome, even though he hasn't put up like really much for numbers this year, I think Strome actually has nothing. But man, he's even. That's like not a bad thing. That means in the third line they're not getting scored on.
Yep.
So I'm totally fine with that. For not putting up any points, I'm actually quite pleased with his play.
Yeah.
Usually I'd be ragging on Strome, but he's looked solid, and that's all I want is a solid third spot for him.
Oh.
Chip in the points when he can, throw that little dash of offense that he has, that he's had for his whole career since the juniors. But he's been strong, so I think that'll be a strong third line.
And then the fourth line, Chiara, Brodziak, and Cassian. Brodziak, I thought looked really good, really solid for us lately. Cassian, go
he's
back.
right there. You're just like, God, get back to your style.
He's almost on the brink there. Go out there and hit. Go out there, shoot the puck. He's been cycling a lot lately. He's been looking like he's almost there at the swagger level.
And you're such an energy player. Like, he had such a big cheer when he came out to that Oilers crowd on home opener night. He knows the fans love him. The fans love when he goes and throws the body and gets that crazy Cassian look in his eyes kind of thing. And I love that. And that's all he needs to do. He's right on that verge of potentially being back to what he used to be. Use his speed, use his shot, and hit. That's it. Just keep it simple. Do what Lucic is doing to get back to his game. Keep it simple. Side note, I'm interested to see if Kajula comes back. I'd love to see him on that third line with Strome and Lucic.
Love to see that.
The only thing is that they'd have to make sure that Strome and Kajula have their legs moving that night. Because let's face it, Lucic really doesn't have the speed that he used to.
Nope.
It's fine. He's older. Like I said, it's young.
That's how he's always been.
Yeah,
he's never been a fast guy.
No, and you just have to make sure that if there's those turnovers with the puck, that you have 2 guys that at least have wheels, which they both do, can get back. Anyways, yeah.
And defense same, Clefbaum, Larson, Nurse Russell, but Gravel with Bouchard.
Is it Gravel with Bouchard? I thought Garrison was in tonight.
They're showing Gravel so far, but Bob Stafford, but it could be Garrison. Either or, Bouchard's playing tonight. Bouchard so far has looked really good. I quite appreciate him so far.
Yep.
However, I would personally right now, I'd have to say he's doing fantastic, but I'd probably put in Bear, send him down to the minors. Let him just, let him get his way. Because you seen in the first game when he kind of fumbled the puck in New Jersey there, in Sweden, and he does a lot of really good stuff, but there's just the odd play where you could see that he's a little nervous, doesn't have the confidence, and he's going to be an amazing defenseman one day.
I think
he's
so
going
too.
to be so good, but he just needs to get a little confidence. I wouldn't mind seeing him develop a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then, so who has been your stud so far other than McDavid? You can't pick McDavid because he's everybody's stud. So who is your surprising guy of the year so far?
Quick note, getting back to the defense. Bob Stafford had Gravel in.
Yeah.
See, the Oilers Nation has Garrison Bouchard as the third.
Okay, well then we will go with the Oilers Nation. They never let me down.
Yeah, that's true. The boys are pretty solid there. If you're listening, shout out to Oilers Nation. Either way, I'd rather see probably Gravel play just to see how he does. Mm-hmm. He's a right shot too, eh?
I think he's a righty.
Yeah, so him and Bouchard, interesting. I'd like to see him play. Anyways, you were saying guy who's impressed me the most. Just talked about him a little bit. Drake Kajula. I'm eating my words from the preseason. Said he's probably not going to step up. I said I could probably see him taking a step back because I never saw him being able to fill into that role like I spoke about before. But he's been playing hard enough to get an injury, I guess. And like I said, right now, I wish he was in the lineup right now on that third line, just because he's doing the perfect third line grind. And I think, the little bit of offense is going to come his way eventually. You got to, you keep working hard, something will come his way.
Yep.
So far for me, Drake Kajula, big, very impressed.
Nice. Mine so far would be Cam Talbot. He's keeping the boys in it. He's looked really sharp. The first game, not so much, but after that, he's looked really sharp. He's kept the Oilers in every game that they needed to, and that's all you need. And from every good team, they always have a good goaltender.
Yep.
Whether it's, a stop on your head guy that will take him there, like JSG Garrett, but it's just you need a guy that will keep you in the game, and that's what he's doing, and he's making the Oilers have the opportunity to win every night so far.
Exactly. He's been a huge part in those last 2 wins against Boston, Winnipeg. He was a huge factor and keeping them in those games. You know, he's had a couple fumbles here and there, but he's also had some spectacular saves and just played solid and kept the boys in it. Give them some reliability on the back end, which is huge. I totally agree. Cam Talbot, he's been great so far this season. Seeing little strides of 2 years ago again, that Cam Talbot, who was potentially a Vezina candidate at times in talks.
Yep.
So yeah, I completely agree. Cam Talbot, he's been doing great this year, and I want to see him have another strong game tonight.
You will. And who's your dud so far?
I
hate to say the dud, but you know who's the guy that's not impressed you?
We talked about him a little bit. For me, it's got to be old Matt Bennett. He's been looking like he shouldn't be in the NHL right now, in my opinion. Again, don't hate to rag on a guy and everything like that, but he just has not looked strong out there. He doesn't look confident with the puck. He's taken a step back when I wanted him to take a step forward. Again, it's early still, but he's looking like more of an AHL defenseman to me right now.
Yeah.
He's not looking like he can play against any of these top NHL guys right now.
Yeah, I agree. Not trying to rag on him, but he just needs to get that confidence and go out there and do what you can do, because I know he's a guy that can go out there. He's still very young, and he's a guy that just needs to work on the basics. Like, that's all that he's been really screwing up on is the basics. Cover your man. Be smart with the puck. You don't have to go out there and you know, be like a guy that goes out there and scores goals like your Carlson or Brent Burns. Like, I want you to just go out there and make smart plays, make passes, like just basic stuff.
And that's the stuff to build off there. Same as mine, you just have to, let's have a good next 3 shifts where I make safe plays, I don't have any major turnovers, and I make some safe, smart passes out of the zone, good breakouts. And then once I start getting some consistency with some solid shifts and basic play, then start adding a little bit more flair, a little bit more this and that. But you're right, just he needs to get back to the foundation.
Yeah, Jason Smith made a career out of that.
Exactly.
Bring it off the glass or just make a quick, easy pass.
And
one of the two.
There's nothing wrong with that when you're a third-line D-man. That's what you want, is just a solid, reliable guy that you can throw out there from time to time.
And next question, surprise one. Score of the night. You think the Oilers are winning tonight?
Well, you got the 6-1 Nashville Predators coming in to Edmonton. A strong, strong team with a amazing back end. I believe Saros is actually playing tonight, so we're not going up against Pecorine. Saros is 1-0, I believe. He's won one of their games with them.
Yep.
I want to say that tonight it's gonna be another close game. I'm picturing that it's gonna be like a Boston game where if Edmonton has a good game, it's gonna be like a 1-goal game either way. Honestly, I could see this one going into overtime again. Yeah. I could see it being a tie game at 2-2 or 3-3, and Edmonton pulling it out again in like a 4-3, 3-2 fashion, and then everyone's saying that Edmonton can only win in overtime.
Nice. I'm going 5-3. Empty netter for the Oilers, and Connor McDavid gets the puck going up the left-hand side and passes it to either Nuge or Yamamoto for the empty netter. So that's what I'm going with tonight. Oilers so far, great. You gotta give them an A-. They've been looking good. Their first 2 games brought them down, but I was like, man, they're looking really good. They're looking hungry, and I'm loving what they're seeing so far.
Yeah, so looking forward to it tonight. Nashville in town, 6-1 team. Big challenge for the boys again, but if they can get a win, that's a lot of confidence going into this coming up week with 2 strong Metro teams to come. So we'll hopefully see you guys in the next few weeks here. We can update you on the last maybe 5-game breakdown or whatever we get to. So, if you like the podcast and everything like that, be sure to like the video, toss us a subscribe, and comment down below. We love hearing you guys' feedback, love hearing you guys' discussion. We like to chat about it on the podcast and hear what you guys' opinions are. So we will see you guys next time, and have a good day.